Good morning, church. It's good to be with you today. I'd like to share a few words about my personal biography. I have a very unusual biography. I was born in Indonesia and lived there for 18 years. And then I studied in Chicago for 4 years and have been living in Moscow, Russia for the last 23 years. How did that all happen? For most of my life, I thought that I had very ordinary parents. My mother was from a middle-income family in Minnesota, but when she was 12, her parents divorced, and that left emotional trauma in her soul for most of her life. My dad was from a lower-income middle-class family, and he was the fifth of 5 children, and his older brother sometimes gave him a hard time. But God brought those two people together and did something very unusual. They decided that they should take the Great Commission to go to the ends of the earth seriously, and they joined Wycliffe Bible Translators and headed off to Indonesia. That's where I was born. It was not an easy task. The first thing that my dad had to do was to choose a tribe for which they would translate the New Testament. After they chose the tribe, they had to travel 2 days by canoe to get to the village where we would live for 18 years. Then they had to make an alphabet for the people because they had never had their language written down before. They also had to teach the people to read and write. Finally, my dad started translating the Gospel of Mark, and after 4 years from when they first got there, the first person was converted. It was an amazing story, but that's for a different time. But that person who was first converted, he became the preacher for the whole tribe, and within 6 to 12 months, 200 people had been converted to Christianity. God does truly amazing things. The older I get, the more I realize that my parents weren't just ordinary people. They did amazing things because of their faith and their obedience. Sometimes when I read the Old Testament, I'm amazed at what it says. And it's hard to understand if some of these prophecies are to be fulfilled in the future or if they've already been fulfilled. For example, in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22, it says, "A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in my time." I was wondering if this is going to be something that will happen in the future, that one will become 1,000. But then when I started thinking of the work that missionaries do, often it's true. 1 or 2 go out and thousands become Christians. And so throughout the Bible we see that God is always looking for people who will be obedient. And even simple people like my parents from various types of families, all that was needed from them was their obedience, and God was able to use them to do great things for His kingdom. May we all seek our calling and fulfill the good deeds that God has prepared for us. God bless you.